Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Marshall and this is my power meter. It measures how many kilowatt hours my home uses every month, which is basically how much money we have to pay for electricity. This measures both the current and voltage coming in from the street. The current has no limit on it, so all the electricity available to the street could be coming through those wires. So this is a dangerous box if it breaks open. It's typically protected by just a thin little lock so people don't tamper with it, try to cheat on their electrical bill. The voltage coming from the street usually stays at a constant 120 volts, but that'll fluctuate down to 110 when a lot of people are using electricity, to maybe up to 125 when there's extra electricity in the grid. My meter has these analog dials, and what it does is it constantly takes a measurement of the kilowatts my house is using, and it keeps adding tick marks to each one of the dials, each one of the dials, each one of the dials, and it keeps a running total. This actually will tell me how much electricity my house has used since that meter got installed. What we are talking about though is power. Power is measured in either horsepower or watts and tells you either how quickly you can do work, or it tells you how quickly energy has been transferred, how fast energy has been used. For an electrical system, electricity is always measured in watts, which is a joule per second. And watts, as I mentioned, is a combination of current, which is the flow of electricity, and the voltage, which is basically how much electrical pressure that flow is under. So low pressure, high current would be something like a river. High pressure, low current is something like a power washer. And that analogy is really good for electricity. Our equation is simply watts is our current times voltage. Since houses usually get 120 volts, give or take, the amount of power your device uses depends entirely on the amperage, or the current that's flowing through them. So most devices have a little sticker on them to tell you exactly how much current they're drawing, and we'll do some calculations about that in a minute. But I first want to talk about the watt number. So a device like this, we'd measure its electrical consumption in watts because it's small. But when it comes to my power bill, since I use 200,000 to 500,000 watts in a month, instead of just measuring those hundreds of thousands of watts, we call them kilowatts. And kilo means thousand, so it just takes that extra thousand out of having to be expressed both in written form and verbally all the time. So when we measure household energy use, when we calculate how much it costs to use our devices, we measure cost by kilowatts.